Hello everyone, No Respawns here. Hope you are having a grand week. So in this video, I'm going to be playing around and making what hopefully is a potentially decent build using the new greenhouse that dropped in the Adam store this week. So I wanted to do this because I know that a lot of people will probably be kind of like umming and ahhing whether they're going to get it. And because obviously it's only available for a limited time, I thought it'd be prudent for me to make a video and kind of show you how it functions. And if you're so inclined, you can pick it up. So yeah, though this is available in the, the Green Thumb pack, and it effectively gives you a kind of full self-contained little player home, which is pretty grand. It is a little bit awkward to place, but I'm going to demonstrate how it works. I'm quite familiar with the issue this has when you're placing it, because it's kind of a hangover from the Fallout 4 days, because obviously Fallout 76 uses the same engine. So it's quite simple, really. So, because it uses the foundation, but it's several foundations placed together, and it's also stuff attached to foundations, it causes it to not sink in the same way as a normal foundation. So basically, you can either do it this way, like so sunk down as far as possible, or up at its peak. You can't do kind of in between. The good thing is the peak still looks like it's sinking into the ground a little bit. So you can't basically do... where are the floors? I'm completely blanking. Right in front of me. Good lord. So you can't sink it down like that. It just kind of does one or the other. This is a little bit of a hangover from just the Fallout 4 engine, where effectively snapping loads of things together makes it get a little bit confused. But to be utterly frank, if you have it up like this, you can actually do, which I'm going to demonstrate, you can actually do a lot with the actual structure itself. Let me just show you where I am. Most of you already know this, but just in case you don't, I'm just south of the crosshair. There's Clancy Manor. There's, Vault 76 there. So it's a very familiar location. Really, really cool place to build if you haven't built already. I've done loads of videos in this location, but just on the off chance you've stumbled across it and haven't seen this area before. So let's just jump into it. So you can place it down like that, though obviously you're going to have a slight issue with grass poking through if it's an area of grass. However, there are probably some areas in like the what do we call it? Here. I always forget what it's called. Here, that doesn't have any grass, so you're probably quite fine placing it there, but we're going to have it up because I've got a few plans. Okie dokie. Let's sure we've got some space. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Right, so one little issue which I already figured out how to fix, just because it gets a little bit confused. So if you try and select from the front... Oh, it did it there. Let me try and get mimic what it did. God damn it. Okay, you occasionally get this error, which says you can't pick it up because multiple objects are being selected. If you get that, just go to the side, just exit out like that, and pick it up again. For some reason, it's now letting me pick it up without having to worry about that. It's just because I think there's a doorway, and yeah, it's a bit of a knob. But there we go. Let's push it out a bit. I want some space behind it, but I also want a wee bit of space in front of it. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's grand. So yeah, also in case you were curious, because I imagine you are, where are they? You can, in fact, snap a door on the front, so you are completely happy there. I'm actually going to... There we go. That was what I was trying to do. One or more related items are not in use. So if that happens, you just have to kind of just pop over to the side. I'm actually going to move it back a bit because it is a bit too far forward. Right. Yeah, that should do. Cool. So building inside, obviously I'm going to decorate it after I've done the building, but effectively the inside is as you see it. So you might, potentially some items you might have to kind of have a little bit of trickery to just get them as close to the edge as possible, just by dint of the fact the inside curves in quite a bit. So some really tall stuffs might not be good, but to be honest, as I'll show in the decoration, that's not too much of an issue. But what I want to do is actually decorate the outside. You know, I want to show what you can potentially do to kind of add stuff to it, effectively. So I've got planned. I did discover something about this earlier, which is quite a neat little thing to discover. So if I use someone's blowing sharp nearby, thank you for that. Don't know what's been blown up. So if I'm going to line this up to get it done right. Say about there, actually, because I want it halfway. Effectively, you can snap the foundations inside it. So that's... I'm probably not going to abuse this as much as I could have, but effectively that means you can do things like that, which is actually quite cool. So there's quite a lot of potential for kind of being a bit cheeky with the... with kind of having stuff. You can't, like, place stuff in, but you can snap stuff into it. So, for example, I'm going to have some, like, wee little turret stands. About, like, that height. And then I can just snap you on there like that. You can actually slap the entire thing all the way through it as well, so... that's quite cool. We'll do it on the other side as well. Actually, I'm probably going to want to... this is more to get it to the right height. Place, you bastard. Thank you. Bit of lag there. Wonder what's in. I'm curious. I don't know. It doesn't seem there's a player. There's just someone being very, very noisy nearby. Okie dokie. And we'll just slap this one here. Like that. And I want it. That doesn't matter, does it? Okay. Cool. And the good thing is, because none of those objects are floating, you don't have to worry about it. Now, this way I can keep it exactly the right height I want, which was the point of all that nonsense there. So I want it in line with that step. It's probably not going to be perfect, so don't hate you. It's going to be close as I can be bothered to make it. If you want to be more OCD than me, go right ahead. So I wanted to kind of like just add texture to it, right? So this is going to be a stand at the front, and at the back we're going to have something a little bit less intrusive. So I want the center bit. Where is the center? Is that bit, right? That's the center bit. Yeah, that looks like it. And we're gonna... That ticking, by the way, is the that little machine for one of the side quests. Okay, I wanna move it back a bit. About halfway again. Yeah, and then I just pop. Maybe even a bit further, actually. Yeah, because I actually want this for like a... Effectively, I'm actually going to have it just so it's in slightly. Yeah, why are we doing that for? There we go. So it looks like it's kind of attached to it without necessarily being separate. Yeah, like, even though it's a little bit of a ball ache to place, the fact that it's got this quite nice flexibility is quite good. Yeah, see, I've got this nice little platform at the side now, which is kind of what I was going for. I don't know what this platform's going to be for, but it looks nice. And I'm going to have that there like that. I'm going to place. Let me place. Thank you. Bit of lag there. So we've got these weird platforms here. I'm not actually going to put... I could pull that out actually even further and have it... Potentially might be a... Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. Give me a wee sec. Because that would look potentially quite nice. So we just go like that. Don't move, just pull that. One thing I really like about Fallout 76, all those things that I found very useful, is the fact it leaves that silhouette there. It means I can actually just kind of fine-tune bits and pieces like this, which is always reassuring. I might not be able to do this how I'm wanting to do it, but we'll see. Yeah, boy! It does look a little bit weird like that, but I've committed to it so now, so we're going to do it both sides. So it's literally just a lip above. That actually looks a bit wank. I'm going to take that off, but I'm now going to make that one match for the sake of it not being annoying. 1 second. Okay, so it just needs to come out to what? This one here, so just a wee bit. I didn't rake it higher, did I? Nah, so it's just like literally just one step onwards. It's a little bit ahead, right? A teensy bit. Again, OCD, I'm not too bothered if it's not too close. Actually, having that further out is nicer, so I can do bits to it and, like, put stairs and stuff on it. So it's all good. Everything worked out as I definitely 100% intended, yeah. See, I can squeeze a staircase on it now. Everything's fine. Which is quite nice. So I just like adding platforms to things. Adding texture, adding bits and pieces. Right, next let's add... I do want to put a generator somewhere, but we'll, thought about adding that here, actually. I could possibly... If I put another one there like this. Yeah. And then... Can I... I totally can. Baby. I'm just loving the windmills right now. Place, you bastard. Is it... You get in the tree. If I place it the other way around. I don't know if that'll whack the tree or not. Maybe I won't have that one there. Even though technically it would look quite nice and it would suit the whole greenhouse thing. But I will have another generator. I could pop this here. But I might just have a little one. And just have like a little kind of a bunch in here. My little collection of, you know, 3 generators that I like doing. When I can't think of what to place. Because I think it's, even though you could make this quite kind of like a clean and crisp kind of build, realistically, I like making things kind of scrappy and weird looking. It's just my kind of vibe. It's my bag, you know what I mean? Okay. Can I pop all those on before I start snapping them on? Yeah, I can. Good. And now I've got this space here to use as well. I mean, shit, I could even... Nah, we'll leave it like that. Right, okay, in that case, let's just have... I love doing this. It's fun. Why you let me place that? You let me place that earlier. I did it before. Why are you floating for, you dick? Weird. It's fine. Maybe it's because the stairs is in the way. Come here. There you go. Weird. Anyway, there we go. These are really, really nice. I did this in my last time I built here. Was kind of putting these on the edges of buildings. Just makes for kind of like these nice little enclosures. They look quite nice because you can effectively kind of, which is what I'm going to do, turn this into where a farm is, and it just kind of fits. In the words of great Toddness, it just kind of sort of works. Right, we're going to have a bit of a symmetry then, because apparently, for whatever reason, that hasn't replaced that. But I can put some food over here. I mean, like, the only food I have, which is potatoes. Everyone loves potatoes. Potatoes are the shit. Potatoes are the shit, because you can place them in pretty much any location. And it is good to go. I've actually got some meat for you as well. I'll slap that down somewhere. But just for the sake of demonstrating, I'm going to pop some potatoes in that position. They are. See what I mean? So, like, I've already just kind of added a little bit of kind of just play a nuance to it. I'm actually confused because I don't know why this isn't let me place this. Maybe it's just being a dick. Because I placed it early and it was absolutely fine. Like, I actually prototyped this. Maybe it's just the stairs or maybe there's something in the way. Yeah, it's all right. What mysteries are there with Fallout 76 and its confusing building function? It's fine. We'll just have, as I said, a bit of a symmetry. Things don't have to always completely match everyone, yeah? Sometimes things just have to vaguely match. Or just look like they make sense. Making sense is the real deal. Yeah. Why did you put that there for? I think it might have something to do with the fact that it's right next to... That's weird. I think there's something under there. I'll maybe just put some decorations to the side there instead. So let's wire it up, and then I can go back to the decoration, because it's already 15 minutes in already. Right. So the one thing about this area is obviously getting it wired up is a bit of a ball ache because of its shape. However, I have figured out how do I do it, which looks quite nice. You can obviously have a pylon if you want, which I might do in a bit, actually. And then you just... Oh, I haven't put the thing on yet. I was like, oh, yeah, but you've got to put it on first. And I put these into, like, turret stands and put stuff up there, I think. Ba-bum, bum-ba-bum. Okay. Voila. Yeah, see, and then that'll pretty much power it up kind of quite flawlessly, which is quite nice. You obviously, instead of a tree, you can just have a general pylon. You can actually just get over this by just walking over to it. You're all good, don't worry about it. There we go. And you can connect lights to the top as well. So it's all good. I've got quite a lot of lights, actually. I'm just going to put the thingy light on. I don't have a disco ball on this character, which is annoying. But I do have that. I'll pop the door on, and then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to bugger off and decorate it. But let me just go look around and put it undecorated. Like, already right now, I've just added, like, a little bit of my own structure to this. I don't know what was going on there. It was probably just, I think it looks like something's floated down bottom, or maybe maybe I'll be able to just sort it, because it was working. I might just log out and log back in again. But it looks very, very nice. It's such a gorgeous little structure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive off, give this a nice little Davy spruce up in the decoration phase, and then I will come back and give you a full tour. One mo. And we are done. I decided to do this tour at night time because obviously given the nature of the dome, it looks very, very nice lit up, as you can see. So this was, I'm quite pleased with how it looks. Obviously with this one, it's kind of less structurally and more decorative. I will go into detail of kind of how this worked in terms of decorating, because it's an interesting structure. But let's give you a wee tour first. So I kind of wanted to make the entrance. I really went, so I've shown off all the plants that you have available, all bar one actually, because in the way up, there's this little one which looks like a load of plates put on top of it. But I basically showed you all of the plants bar that one, but I'll show it when I get to the menu. I've got a water purifier here, bits and pieces. For some reason this area, I think it was just happens to be where I placed it on this area. I wouldn't let me place anything there, so I had a bit of a ball lake. Got my little generator area. It's all very, very nice. Has this junky feel. It's kind of like civilized junky feel. I've also got a thing. I'm actually missing a few workstations. I don't have a tinker's workbench or a chemistry workbench. I could probably just slap them down somewhere, but I decided to just get on with the tour. Hindsight, they could have just gone there, but it's fine. I'll place those when I've finished walking around. So the doorway, very, very nice. It does look very... I love this kind of how glowy this is. Those plants are really, really cool, but they're obviously quite massive. So they look... They've got a kind of, like they're found from the Maya kind of vibe to them, which I quite like. And as you all know, that I do love the Maya a lot. So inside is quite homely. Put bits around, made it busy, but not too busy. And I've got my wee bed. Right, so let's talk about this structure a little bit. So this clearly has some invisible walls, which you can't see. The reason being is trying to place stuff next to the edge is an absolute nightmare. And certain things can be placed very close, such as these, but certain things can't be placed very close at all. To give you an idea, that was as close as I could get that board to the edge before it said it was kind of getting in the way of another item. Now, the reason being is I can hazard a guess, as I said, it has there's an invisible barrier here. So, like, there's the actual structure, and then there's, like, a kind of... If this were in the creation kit, for example, I'd be able to see a glowy aura, effectively, of, like, you know, how close items can be placed. And it's quite frustrating, because it's kind of inconsistent. So, for example, I could place these two big things here, absolutely fine, but then there was certain stuff that I couldn't place. So, it was quite a ball ache, to say the least. If I can just, like... If I place this here, for example. See, you get that item needs support, or intersects another item. And you'll get that a lot. Now, you can fix it quite easy. So the way I've done this bed as an example is you can use a kind of what I call a vanilla version of the rug glitch for Fallout 4. Because it doesn't actually work the same way. Because it still uses the collected collision of these items. So I've got all of these things on this rug here, right? That's actually on it as well, though technically it's not. Originally it was just the bed I placed down. And I was able to then move it. Like, see, I can move these here. I can even probably... I can just place them, move them around. Because even though it still uses the collision of all the rugs, so this would Fallout 4, I'd be able to move those things actually effectively in there. But it kind of... I guess it allows these things to ignore a lot of the rules. And what I was thinking ahead, actually, so when I do my main character, I'm thinking I'm going to have 4 rugs kind of on the edge and kind of like a little 4-rug pattern, and that'll allow me to put things inside. So, for example, the reason why I have none of the workbenches in here is I just couldn't get them close enough to the edge. But there are ways to work around it if you are so inclined. I don't know if it's one of those things that I'll ever fix, because it's kind of more of an engine issue, but however, I guess, hypothetically, they could go into the creation kit and just kind of sort of, I mean, whatever their more back-end powerful version of it, and just kind of make it a little bit more flexible. But I don't know. It's one of those things that I think you should be aware of if you're intending to pick this up. Because basically, I was able to make something which I'm quite satisfied with, and I'm almost certain I'll be able to do that kind of 4-rug thing to allow me to put my workbenches and my kind of more bigger stuff next to the side. But at the same time, there was quite a bit of swearing going on when I was decorating the inside of here. But I'm still quite pleased with how it looks. I really like the way the dome looks. I really like the way the lights work. I'm probably going to make a version of this for my main character, and that will be their permanent home, just because it just has such a secure feeling to it. And also, I've been in that same place for absolutely ages, so it's time to move on. So I hope this gave you guys some insight and understanding exactly how this structure works. And obviously, you've got, I think it's pretty much, like, what, 5 days, 4 or 5 days? Yeah, 5-ish days, until the Green Thumb pack is unavailable. So it kind of gives you time to kind of see if you actually want to pick this up. Chances are it will be available again in a few months anyway. They've been doing that a lot with a few things like that giant rocket sign, the red rocket one, and also some of the power armor skins have already came back. So chances are you'll have a chance to pick it up again if you skip it this time. Anyway, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. I will have a new video up soon. I'm going to have potentially a non-Fallout video on the weekend. I'm playing a lot of The Long Dark, so I'm potentially going to do a little bit of a guide video on that, just because I'm playing it so much, and I want people to play it, and I want you to not struggle. It's a really old game, but it's one of those games that I just keep coming back to. So I'm going to do a Long Dark guide on the weekend, just randomly, because I want to show off all of my mad survival skills. And alongside that, I've got... I was at work the other day, and I made a list of about 15 builds I want to do for Fallout 76. So I'll be tearing this down really soon. So expect those builds as well as general non-Fallout and fun content. But until that point, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. You take care.